This is your host, Julian on Enlighten Me. And today we have two individuals, Jay and Dom. How y'all doing?
Doing good. Looking forward to the conversation today. So, yeah.
Oh, this is going to be a good conversation. Very good. And today we're going to be talking about Kevin Samuels and y'all's thoughts on Kevin Samuels. So if y'all can give me a brief overview, or what are your thoughts on Kevin Samuels?
Jay, would you like to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I want you to go first.
Okay. I'll go ahead and I'll go first. Let's see. My initial thoughts on Mr. Samuels. I think a lot of people's, many people's problems, they have a problem with him. A lot of the stuff that he says and a lot of his content. But I think a lot of stuff that he says rings true. I think there's a lot of truth in what he says. A lot of people don't like the messenger. They may not like the tone of his message. But I think that's a problem within our society, one that he's addressed himself. It's not always in the tone. It's not always in the delivery. You have to look to the message itself. Who cares about the messenger? I don't care if it's my worst enemy. I hate to say it, if Adolf Hitler was here, if a colonial slave master was here telling me some truth that would benefit my community, I'm listening. I'm still gonna hate him, but that's my perspective. So
yeah, that's actually very true. A lot of people would quote off Buddha because he said, "Be the change you wish to be in the world." And people are like, why would you quote off him? I'm like, well, I am trying to change the world and make the world a better place and leave it better than I found it. So I'm gonna adhere to what he's saying. And yeah, what about you, Jay?
I feel like for the most part, I'm indifferent, but I mean, he's funny sometimes. I don't really agree with his approach. Like Mr. Don says, I just feel like sometimes he's rude. Like he'll call people out of their names when it's but you know, he has some good gems sometimes that I agree with.
Okay. And Jay, how old are you, man?
I'm 20.
Has it been beneficial to you in the dating realm, or has it opened your eyes up in any aspect?
I would say it's taken me out of my bubble that I was in, because I wasn't aware that people were having so many problems. I'm a newlywed, and so some of these things are just out of my scope. So.
Okay. So have you been able to apply any of those attributes from what he's saying to your with you and your relationship, your marriage?
Not exactly, but ever since I've listened to him in the Manosphere, I'm more aware of how I treat my partner. But as far as my behavior, nothing has changed as of yet, I don't think.
Okay. And what about you, Dom? Have you applied any of these measures in any of the aspects of your life?
A lot of stuff that he talks about, I don't mean to sound like one of those I knew it all along type people, but I guess in a way, yeah, I kind of felt a lot of stuff that he already. Psychology is not good. I do have a degree in it. But yeah, a lot of stuff that what he says, if you look at it objectively, and I think that's what people have a problem with. Like Jay was saying, he calls people names, right? So if I call you fat, is that an insult, or is that an objective term describing what you are? If I call you stupid, is that an insult, or is that an objective term calling you something in particular? Like if we were to look up the word stupid, if we Googled it, and we went down to the Merriam-Webster definition of the word stupid, you would see an objective definition. It's not necessarily an insult. So when he throws terms like that out there, I think people don't give him the benefit of the doubt, which would mean I doubt that he's trying to be malicious or harmful. He's actually trying to be objective and reach a resolution, which in my view, that's usually what, I hate to say it this way, but that's usually what a man is supposed to do. We're supposed to seek resolution. We're supposed to seek, we're supposed to be problem. That's not to say that women, females aren't either. They definitely are, but he's taking it in using his method. So there's that.
I think a lot of people, like you're saying, a lot of people, the way his tone is and his delivery. I think, and as a man, if somebody were to tell me that straight up, blunt, it's like, okay, I need to get my shit together, because now it's like this isn't a game. Like if you say, hey man, like don't do that, or hey man, that's fucking stupid. It's like, all right, he's serious, his tone is serious, and his gestures are serious, so I need to get myself straight. Being in this world now, this new generational world, everything's watered down. Some people take offense to that based upon like, oh, it's so watered down. I'm telling you the truth, and it hurts, and you don't want to change from that. So let me just pat you on the back and tell you going about your merry way, and that's not the answer anymore.
I absolutely agree. Jay, you mind? Can I ask you a question?
Sure thing.
Okay. So, how would you feel if let's say Kevin Samuels went back to talking about men? Would you feel particularly hurt if he addressed your husband a certain way? If he was very blunt with him? How would you feel about that?
It depends on what he's saying. To respond to your comment about him just telling objective truths, I feel like you can do that without insulting people. And yes, I do feel like he does sometimes insult people. There's no reason to call a bigger woman a linebacker or something like that. Or paint out this, call people who are bigger, like Big Shirley. Like, that is mean. Like, it's mean spirit. You can talk about people and the obesity problem without painting that kind of picture. You can be honest without doing that. So if my husband was to have a consultation with him and he was being completely honest, I mean, I don't feel like there's a reason to be offended over everything, but I feel like there's a way to do that. You can just be truthful without being insulting.
Let me ask you another question. Do you think there are times when being that way with people, do you think that works sometimes when otherwise it would not?
I feel like it does help certain people, but in the context of giving advice on a public platform, there's no need to carry that energy for half of your show. I feel like that's not necessary, and it's not helpful for people to listen to you to actually change on the wide scale. Now, I will concede that people do sometimes respond positively to insults, like men and football. I hear a lot of coaches are just so mean, but apparently it works. I'm just saying that's not useful for everybody, and I don't think that's necessarily positive for a public platform when you are saying that you're trying to help and make change. When you're on a public platform, you don't need to be that way as a brand.
So, okay. So what? How are you looking at this here? Because like, I do remember those episodes you're talking about where he called someone, well, specifically Big Shirley. I remember that episode. And in that episode, they actually insulted him first. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, two wrongs don't make a right, right? But you did just concede that sometimes, like, so to speak, seeking to somebody's level may actually be effective, right? So I guess what I'm trying to ask in general, do you think he's more of a help than he is a hindrance or a harm? Just on average.
On average, I think he's more of a help.
Okay.
So, with that in particular, if he's helping the majority and hurting supposedly the minority, do you still think that's beneficial?
Ask that one more time, please.
So if he's helping the majority of people with marriages, women, men, and there's a couple of people who are outlandish about how he's saying things to them, do you still think he should continue his platform?
I feel like he should continue his platform. I feel like he should. I feel like he should leave the mean-spirited aspect out of his brain, because even on his social media, or I see like something on his story, because I do follow him. Like, I like some of his content, and he'll say something that's unnecessary, not to a particular person, but he'll just be like, "Hey, Big Shirley," and say something negative or derogatory. And I'm guessing that's something that he's doing to get attention, but I was like, that's not going to make more women listen to you. It's counterproductive.
Interesting. Now I ask, have you ever called or used the term ratchet in your life? Have you ever called a girl ratchet, or that's ghetto or anything of that sort?
I have.
Okay. And how do you feel like that person takes it, or interprets
negatively.
what you're saying?
Negatively.
Okay.
In the way
So
that
now-
he used it.
So I'm trying to figure out, why do we hold him on such a higher pedestal? Because he's on a platform, but yet we still negate ourselves in that same aspect.
To answer that question, I've learned to not be that way towards people, because it's not helpful and it's unproductive, and I don't want to carry that energy in my day-to-day life. So I chose not to do that anymore.
Fair enough. Did you have a question, Don?
Well, some comments, but just on the last thing you said, Jay. Okay, like you said, so you've chosen not to go that route with people. You've chosen, like you said, you don't want to be around that energy or carry that type of stuff. That's fine. That's
perfectly within your right to do. But the thing is, Kevin Samuels did choose to go down that path. He did choose to walk into that particular lion's den, and he's facing these type of things. So I think, I'm now, again, it's so hard to deal with human beings. Like, I don't know how much you guys know about science, but there's hard sciences like chemistry, physics, and things of that nature. They call them hard sciences because they usually deal with variables that really don't change. They really stay the same, like oxygen, argon, and all that type of stuff. And then you have soft science, psychology, anthropology, and sociology, right? They call that soft science because the variables are always changing, because usually you're dealing with human beings, right? To me, those social sciences are hard because, like, something always is changing.
Yes.
Hard to pin something down, and even the research you do,
a lot of it you have to use deception, because if you get somebody in and you want to say, okay, I want to get your real opinion about Kevin Samuels, if you tell somebody that directly, they may not give you an authentic answer. Shift based on, how the interview process is going. But if you deceive them by doing something else, maybe then you'll get a real answer. That's how hard this whole dealing with humans is. So I want to, when it comes to Kevin Samuels and how he deals with people, it would be ideal. I would love it if he wasn't, saying Big Shirley, using linebacker lines and all this stuff like that. Get your up off my line. Like, what the frick, and all this stuff like that. I would love it if he did not do that. But the thing is, I don't know if he would yield results if he backed up off of that. Like we talked about, if sometimes you have to use the language, you have to speak people's language sometimes to so they can understand you. Sometimes just so they can respect you. Well, that's just, I guess, a belief of mine. But that's the only thing that I can think of in talking about this. Jay, I understand totally what you're talking about. But real talk, I'm sorry. Sometimes they come for him first, and I'm just like, hey, bro, get him.
I think
I'm sorry, Jay. You know I don't mean anything by that, but it's just like,
hey, say what you say. Hey, say whatever you want. Hey, I love it. I think some people just don't understand. Like you said, he takes it down to their level. He gives respect and he demands respect. But if you act out of character, then you know what I'm saying, play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and that's usually what happens. Now, do I condone it? Again, no. But in how I work, I'm a drill sergeant. So how I work, some of these kids don't understand anything prominent. So until I start yelling or using certain terminology, and then they pucker up and they're like, okay, I need to do this and complete this mission. So I see that with society as well. People, when they're comfortable, they don't want to change. They're just going to it's going to be like another satire. Just, oh, I do this, and do this. But until you make somebody uncomfortable, which is anything in life, when you become uncomfortable, you're bound to grow. You're bound to take a step back, examine your area, and then move forward. And I think that's what he does. Again, calling somebody Big Shirley, that's just out of context. But I mean, at the same time, they do come for him. And some of them people come on there just try to get famous off it. So it's like, what are we doing here?
I mean, she was like, "Oh, girl, he gay. Hang up." I mean, that's what she said.
and that's a whole nother. Oh yes, I think that's one thing that I don't like. When I've been told that on Facebook. That's why I don't usually comment. Long story short, I would say something, a woman would disagree with me, and then call me gay because I disagree with her. And I'm like, what? You support the LGBT. You're okay with your son being gay, but you're trying to insult me for something you believe in. So I'm confused on where we're going with this.
How do you feel about any of that, Jay?
I don't understand. I think it's women try to.
I'm sorry. I was talking to.
The other Jay. Oh yeah, my name. Yeah.
Sorry, man.
What was the question specifically?
Okay, specifically. So like, okay, let me see if I can just get this down. So specifically, the question is, how do you feel about those situations? Black males and black females are talking. There's a disagreement, and then it ends up being ad hominem attacks. Usually, like the ones that we're talking about, where he's gay, or he ain't nothing, or something like that.
Or he has a small penis. Like, what are we doing?
Yes, anything like that. Like, how do you have an experience with that? What are your thoughts on it? I know it's a very general question, but just handle it how you would like.
I would agree that it's unproductive to the conversation, and it's not necessary for women to do that. I mean, if someone said something that I didn't like, maybe I would be offended, and maybe I would think certain negative thoughts, but I don't think
you would think that's
so. To call me.
Tell me more.
Tell me more.
No,
Real talk, you would think somebody.
That's insidious.
No,
that's
I'm
insidious.
Not saying I would think. Hold on.
Wait.
I am saying. I'm not saying that I think men are gay when I'm in a disagreement. I'm saying, in general, if someone says something to offend me, I may think negative thoughts, but
I want to know these thoughts.
To go out of my way to disrespect them.
I want to know. Well, negative thoughts are disrespectful. So where are we going? What thoughts are you thinking?
Well, it depends on the situation and what someone said to
Jesus.
So if it was Kevin Samuels, you'd be like, "Oh, this nigga gay."
No. I feel like maybe y'all are taking that literally. I'm not saying if he said something, this Kevin Samuels person, if he says something like offensive to me, I'm not going to think that he's gay because I don't know that. I'm saying I might think something negative like, no, he a bitch. Or, you or something like that. But I'm not going to go out of my way to disrespect someone just because I was offended. Like, I can have feelings and act accordingly to the situation at the same time.
Okay, would you curse in a situation? Do you think cursing is offensive? Like, okay, like let's say you were talking to Kevin Samuels, or say you were talking to me, and I said something that you interpreted. Now, listen to my words carefully. I say something that you interpreted as offensive. Would you consider cursing back at me? Like, so when I say cursing, you could just say like, "What the fuck did you?" Like that. Do you do anything like that?
I'm saying I might think that way, possibly depending on how upset I am. But how I actually carry myself and control my feelings are different.
I see. Okay. So yeah, so you seem to be quite different than.
I'm trying to decipher what is going on right now.
Than many young ladies. So it's okay. So Jay, Miss, let me ask you another question. And I know we're going off topic, but this is a topic. You know, Kevin Samuel, submissiveness. There was a YouTuber today that posted like a video on the definition on submissiveness. Do you agree with that lifestyle in regards to your recent nuptials? And congratulations, by the way, with your husband. Are you a submissive type wife to him, or do you consider yourself 50-50 partnership, or how does that go? If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer that.
I don't know. It's really interesting. I don't consider myself particularly submissive in the way that people describe.
What?
Okay.
Wait.
I don't consider
Hold on.
myself
Pause.
people describe.
Rewind. What is your definition of submissiveness, or the way people describe it? Yeah, give me both. How do people describe it, and then what are you?
So my interpretation of what I hear from other people, their picture of submissiveness is a lady who I'm sorry.
No, take your time. I'm listening.
Yes, please do take your time.
I'm about to write these damn notes down.
What it seems like to me.
Oh no. Okay. What do
How I
you
interpret it
Did you
is
just Google it?
no.
Okay.
I'm just going off of what I've interpreted from what other people describe it as. People usually like manosphere type things. They say it's feminine and cooperative. Like if you have any aggression, any contention, a lady would not show any of that. Like peace only.
No, that's a slave.
Happiness.
Ain't nobody saying being a slave. That's a slave. No. Submissive is agreeing, being cooperative, understanding, competent, things of that nature. Of course, the man's going to do the same thing in the same realm because y'all partnership, But at the same time, a man's supposed to lead. And I think a lot of people get that misconstrued. Now, a woman can lead. That's fine and dandy. You know what I'm saying? My wife saw it, like, I'll let her lead. But at the same time, a man is supposed to lead. But a lot of people don't want modern relationships. They do, but they don't. They don't want to adhere. I guess there's some new stuff coming out, I don't know, every day.
Well, in a traditional
there we go.
The man is thought to be the leader, right? Let's fix that language. So
thought. Not thought.
So, but Jay, you say that that's not you and your husband, correct?
I don't think so. Not in the way like that I've interpreted other people say that. Like it comes across one-sided. There is no talk of mutual submissiveness within the sphere, or
I think people use that term out of context. They say that as soon as they say it, submissive. Oh, girl, you don't let him walk all over you. It's not even that. It's not even that. People just use that just like the word toxic in entrepreneurship. They just throw these words out there because it's easy. No, it's a whole realm.
So
I'm referring directly. Excuse me. I was referring directly to the big manosphere people who talk about submissiveness, and they make the conversation one-sided. They don't ever discuss how it is supposed to be a mutual thing, or how it is even beneficial to women in a way that they are able to receive the same energy back.
Okay.
So
how
that is something. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. Did you have more to say?
No, it's okay.
Okay. Okay. I do apologize for that. But two things I just wanted to say about that real quick. One thing with what you just said, you talked about in the manosphere. Yeah, I hope we could talk about that at some point. You know, maybe not this one, but maybe next time.
Yes.
There's a difference between mutual and equal, right? And you also mentioned something that's mutually beneficial, right?
Oh, he preaching.
A mutual relationship would be one where both people are getting significant good things out of it, right? Or mutual, it could be mutually bad as well. Mutual is just mutual, right? Equal is where you're getting the same thing from the other person, right? Now, like in a marriage, right? You are the female. So first let me separate this out. Gender is different than sex. Okay, your sex is female. I'm sorry, I'm assuming, but I think that's what it is. Your husband is male. Your husband is male, right? So you off rip. You guys are not. You will carry the burden. If you guys have children, you will carry that responsibility. That will be inside your womb. You will be responsible for whatever nutrients it gets inside of you, whatever experiences it has while it's inside of you. You as a female have menstrual cycles. You know what I'm saying? Some women, as they get older, they end up having fibroids. They have to go through that. As far as work, that can cause problems with work, right? It can mess with, a female's hormones, and it can affect. I mean, the reason I think I'm not a female, I don't know, but the reason I think it affects mood is because it's painful. Like, I don't want to walk around. Like, I get mad if I'm walking around with a headache at work sometimes, and having cramps and
or giving birth. Shoot.
Yeah. Again, I'm talking out of my butt.
I commend y'all.
But so off rip, it's not going to be equal as far as being. Yeah, that's what you definitely look for. So if he provides, let's say, year-round work or year-round labor, so that you guys can have work, even though you're working too, if you are working, but he should be providing year-round work, and he should be providing year-round security for you. All that stuff. If you go out and you guys are in the neighborhood and there's a chance of you guys being assaulted or robbed, he should be providing that protection. Ideally, we live in a certain world, so that's how things are mutual. He provides those things, and then what do you provide? It's just like that video that we were talking about with the young lady today, Delilah or whatever her name is, King, as his wife. And you sound like a type of young lady that does this, even for your young age. You provide his peace. Like when he's had a hard day, and men may be terrible at this, I don't know, but you may be able to soothe his emotions, to soothe his rage, to understand the kind of crap that he's going through or whatever. You may be better at taking care of the kids in certain ways emotionally, because not be good at that. There's so many things that you can do that he can't, and so many things that he can do that he can do that you can't, and stuff that he can't do that you can. In my opinion, that's how a good relationship is ideally supposed to work. And I think that's something that Mr. Samuels tries to get people to see. So when it comes to the thing and how a lot of women say, oh, well, I'm independent, I don't need a man. Well, I have to say, for all these women that say I don't need a man to raise a child, it's been what, 50, 70 years since civil rights and the breaking up of a lot of homes. A lot of these men that are walking around today are products of single mothers. So it would seem like to me, yeah, some of those single mothers would need some kind of good male role model around to help in these situations. But I think I got way off topic, so I'm gonna shut up.
No. Hey, please enlighten. That's why we're here.
And the last thing, I guess, I want opinion on this, Jay. You said you heard other people's definition of the word submissive. Well, according to the dictionary, a young lady went online. She's a YouTuber. This was the definition that she found: submissive, ready to act with the wishes standards of a person that has the ability, that's a key word, ability or power to give orders, make decisions, make things happen, and ensure that others are doing what is required, gently and quietly allowing others to lead without resistance or giving pushback. So when you submit, if anybody is to submit, whether it be a husband to a wife or a wife to a husband, that's pretty much what submission is. You trust that other person to make decisions, to have the power to give orders, to ensure that others are doing what is required with, quietly and humbly and all that stuff without a lot of pushback. That really is what. And I think what a lot of young women are missing today, especially with Black men, is that trust. And I think we lost that because, I'm going to be honest, it's because we ended up being enslaved by, that whole history. But okay, I'm done. Sorry.
No, that's completely. I think people dissect it so much that they'll only see the word order. Like, I'm not a dog. Like, they're going to just reciprocate, oh, I'm not a dog. I don't know why you just tell me what to do. It's not even about that. It's a partnership. And I think a lot of people just are so inactive on what it truly is. And people just take it for what it's not, because the word is thrown around so much. And nobody really knows the true definition of what it is. Nobody wants to open up a book. So I'd rather do what everybody else is doing and inherit that thought than actually do my own and think for myself. That's how they are.
Yeah. You got anything else, Jay? I know we talk a lot.
He's like, shut up, you guys. Jay, you're probably thinking bad thoughts about us right now. Go ahead.
No.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I agree. I feel like people in general conflate equality with sameness, and it's not helpful, as we can see in the state of the world. People don't have to, like, two people, a man and a woman, don't have to do or execute the exact same duties or performances to be equal. Using a personal example, I mean, my partner and I, we have an understanding that we are equals. We have mutual respect for each other, and we treat each other well, and we try not to step on each other's toes or disrespect one another.
No, I'm sure he calls on you for things. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he leads me in certain ways, and I lead him in certain ways, and that's okay. Like, it doesn't always have to be the same, but when it is the same, it doesn't always have to happen at the exact same thing. And I think it's okay to be different, because opposites are meant to attract, and that is a harmonious union are when two people of the opposite end of the spectrum are able to cohabitate and use each other's skills for the greater good of the union. So, I agree. People can get equality mixed up with something else.
I mean,
Okay.
again,
I'm sorry.
and
I thoroughly disagree. That word
uh-oh.
equal. That word equal again. Equal means that we do the exact same thing. And again, there's never going to be a male. I mean, unless the science turns around, it's never going to be a male that births a child. Now, a male, of course, is imperative to having a child. You can't have a child without a male. But I think nowadays people are more caught up on connotation. Like when they think about definitions of words, they don't definition. They more so negative connotation of the word, and they think that's the actual definition. And so I respect your marriage, and you guys are working well. So like, despite whatever terminology you guys use, it's working well for you. And hey, I wish you guys the best on that. It's just like, but I'm just saying, if it was me with someone in a relationship or something like that, I would be sure to say, like, because that's the reason I got with that person. They're my other, and there's stuff that I can do that will benefit her that she can't do, and then there's stuff that she can do that I can't benefit me, and that would be a great reason why I would be. And again, I can't speak for your relationship. I would think there's similar situations in your marriage. But I think a big problem with our society is that we're so hopped up and pent on that word equality, that is really kind of messing us up a little bit. And again, that's just me harping on the word equality. But it's just the word.
So do you think people maybe misconstrue the word equally yoked, or the term equally yoked in the Bible, and apply it to something that's maybe not?
I am talking too much.
No. Okay, we'll go to Jay real quick, and then you can sum that up.
Okay, cool.
Jay, Jay, do you know what equally yoked is, as far as start spitting out things?
I'm familiar with that term. I'm not a Christian myself, but from my
understanding,
equally yoked is about women, or not women, I'm sorry, Christians being paired with Christians. That's
okay.
my understanding. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
No, I don't need to say sorry. And what about you, Don?
Equally yoked, from my understanding, because I am a Christian. Equally yoked just means being paired with someone who's of equal, let's say, spirituality as yourself. Someone who's a good match, and you two make a good pairing in pursuing and doing whatever, fulfilling whatever purpose God put you on earth to do. So it's more about, it's being equal, but it's not being equal. Actually, okay, so it is about being equal, but it's more so being like at least an equal belief, an equal faith in that Jesus Christ is real, and that so on and so forth. So that's my understanding of it.
Do you think that kind of inhabits or misconstrues what people's belief is with the word equal? Because like, if we're equally yoked, we're automatically equal. I think that's where the misunderstanding is lying.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. My thoughts is, just because you're equally yoked doesn't mean you're a good match for each other. There's so much other stuff to you. I know your spirit, your soul is a great part.
It is. I know that.
But I don't know.
And that's funny you say that. That's funny you say, because I just listened to a story. Yesterday on Instagram. I never heard this. This man said compatibility isn't always a good thing. He said that somebody can be compatible to your hurt, to your fears, to your anger, and things of that nature. And I think I didn't think about that for a while. it's not always a good thing to be compatible with somebody.
Well, yeah, and that's where that word usage comes in. Compatible, he's correct, but when you say equally yoked, that's automatically supposed to mean in spirit. And if your spirits are kin, then people usually say that's a good match. So again, I don't know. I would have to look that up some more and give you a better idea.
We're gonna be doing another. There's people gonna respond to this podcast. I'm already ready for this, so we're gonna be doing another one.
Okay.
Definitely.
That works with me.
And Jay,
To be back.
you said what?
I said I'd
you
love
said
to be back.
Okay, all right. Do you have anything to say, Jay, about Kevin Samuels? You said he works in mysterious ways on how he delivers and things of that nature, but from what I'm understanding, what I'm seeing, he is making results. And some of the things that go back to our history and our ancestors, it's there. And I even checked some of his facts, and they're on. He may be an asshole in his delivery, but he hasn't lied to us about some things yet. And some of the things I hear him say, and some women say, and men, I'm just like, whoa, okay.
I just don't.
Whoa. I'm over here cooking. I'm like, whoa.
No, I think
I don't know, Miss J. I think we talked a lot, but I don't know. I still don't have a. It seems to me you still don't like his delivery, but you still see truth, I guess, when he spills it. Yeah, I really don't know what. I guess, or maybe I'm just trying to read more into it. I don't know.
What else would you like to know?
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
I asked, what else would you like to know?
To know.
Okay, well, I guess to give it some finality for the podcast, are you more so cheering on Kevin Samuels, and telling him, hey, yeah, Kevin, keep on doing what you're doing? Or are you more so on the side of, you know what, pump your brakes, Kevin? You need to chill, and you need to, stop for a while, revamp your style, and then come back. So if you want to, you can even quantify it. Say you're 60-40 for him, or 60-40 against him, or 70-30, 80-20. If you want to do that, you can, of course, again, you don't have to, but.
To answer your question, 55% for him and 45% not for him. I feel pretty balanced.
I want to make sure my math was right. Hold on a second. I never heard no 55-45.
Yo, son.
I heard 60-40, 50-50, 70-30, 45-55.
45. Wow,
Oh,
he barely won that election.
Shit said 51-49. Oh, man.
He over there with Biden. He barely got. You might have to do a recount. Like.
My math was so.
We did nothing.
Oh no!
We did.
I didn't make sure my math was right.
Did nothing to convince
Lord. Okay.
That his work is more so of a good thing. I say if I had to rate him myself, I would give him a 90-10. Like 90, keep doing what you're doing. 10% on like having stuff he shouldn't say. That's just me, because again, I'm big on the message. Like, yes. I can take the insults. I can take that type of stuff. If you got a good message for me that's going to benefit me and my community, I'm for it. Because you can be the nicest person in the world, and that's another pet peeve of mine: niceness versus kindness. You can be the nicest person in the world, but I think you mentioned something about that earlier, Julian. You could be the nicest person, but then be the worst person for me. And yeah, so nah. If you're giving me some good truth, that's the biggest thing to me. And the reasons I say 90-10 for Mr. Samuels is because how can I put this? Because I think looking at a lot of people that call into his show, some of them seem to be very unaware of their own attitude, of their own, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes that harshness kind of wakes them up. And like, if you're talking, like, let's say I'm talking right now, to some people that's boring, objective, dry. Sometimes if you talk with a little, slang, a little twang in your voice, and you talk just like them, like, like who the French toast are you talking to? Like,
yeah,
like, that gets their attention, and they open up their closed minds, and they take at least a little bit of something in. So that, I guess, is my biggest reason for saying 90-10. That's it.
What do you have to say about that, Jay?
I said a lot.
I know.
No offense. I was just saying I don't know exactly what to respond to. I feel like your perspective is fair.
I appreciate.
In general, I feel like he's more of a help. So I don't really have much contention with what you're saying.
I think people go on there expecting what they need to hear, and that's that. I blame their friends, and then when he gets into the honest truth, that's where the catastrophe happens. Like, it's like, wow, all my life for the last 6 weeks or however they inhabit this lifestyle, I've been living this way, and you're telling me it's wrong. So now they're upset, they're hurt, they're angry, they're emotionally driven based upon the insult the man instead of listening. Because if you're just listening to respond, you're not going to learn anything, and that's exactly what happens.
Oh, there's 3 shows I can think about where I see a lot of people who just listen to respond. The Lapeef Network, they have some people on there that all they do is respond. They interrupt, and it's crazy. And then what is it? 8 at the Table, and then I think Daily Wrap Up Crew podcast. It's
I know.
A lot of their guests, to respond. It's called impulsive reaction, or even reaction formation. Some people, they may not even be diagnosed with it, but just oppositional defiant disorder. But I'm not going to even get into that. That's a serious disorder. So, but that's something else. But yeah, it's just a lot of wild stuff. But Jay, Miss J, I gotta say, you seem so different. I admit, I thought there would be
cursing us out
people.
In our head.
I thought there would be more people. No, I don't think she is. I thought there would be more people, and I thought there would be the kind of people that call into Kevin Samuels' show, and I thought we would have kind of that debate and go back and forth and blah 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 blah.
No, that's gonna be part 2. That's gonna be exactly part 2.
That wasn't the case here. And I'm pleased with that. And we disagree, and we actually have the numbers that that quantify where our disagreements lie, where our disagreements are. And I think that's
when you present yourself and the way you
came in and talked about it. That's exactly how I think people should handle these type of topics. So I think that's big. And not to offend you, I think that's really big for as young as you are.
Yeah, so what do you say? You're 16, 18, 20, 21?
I'm 20.
Oh, damn.
I am 20. I was
do you have a friend
in January.
Oh, happy birthday.
You got a lot of friends that are your age that are like you, that are 20 and talk and act like you? Because I want to know if I'm out of touch. Like,
I have different certain things.
What do you do for work, Max?
Well, I don't know if you want to give all that.
I don't mind. It's not like I'm giving my social security number. I don't work anymore.
Okay.
As long.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Are you
before
in school?
Well, to explain, I went to culinary school and
Okay.
I pursued culinary and I was going to continue, but due to personal reasons, I just decided to not work anymore. And
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I will be going back to school.
Okay.
Yeah. And,
Oh yeah, you have to.
my
No, you have to go.
husband
You have to go.
trying to
That.
start
Yeah.
a husband.
Are you trying to start a business?
Yes, not immediately, but we're taking the steps to educate
Okay.
ourselves.
Well, make sure you reach out and I'll support any way I can. Me and Dom will support any way we can.
Yeah,
Of course.
most definitely. But I'm sorry, but before we get out of here, like again, I do want to know because I don't want to be ignorant about this because I do social services work. Young ladies I run into, teenagers, stuff like that, they're in dire situations and they have certain attitudes. So that's why I was asking you, like your friends, do they talk and behave like you do?
In what way?
Okay, like the topic. Like
you really don't curse that much.
If you brought up the topic of Captain Samuels to one of your friends, would they start cursing and be like, "Oh, that nigga gay," or "Fuck that nigga"? Like,
I don't think so. I don't think they would react that way. But I mean, I've never really had these conversations with my friends, so I don't know.
You should let them listen to this podcast and let they hear what they have to say. Introduce them to Kevin Samuels if they haven't already met him, and we'll go from there. Start a riot.
I'll do that.
If you would be so pleasing, thank you. Okay, all right, y'all. We're gonna wrap this up. And I'm sorry, what you said?
I just said no problem.
Oh, thank you very much. All right, Jay and Dom, I appreciate y'all joining me on Light Me in such short notice. Thank you very much. Is there anything you'd like to say to close this out? Oh my goodness. What about you, Dom? Oh, Dom? Dom don't tapped out. Dom tapped out. I guess it's ending at the perfect time. All right, I'm your host, Julian on Light Me, and thank you. And that's a wrap.